I asked 3 YouTubers for their thoughts on the DJI Mavic 3, and this is what they had to say.
Hi Farhan, thank you for having me on. When the DJI Mavic 3 was released, it was a pretty polarizing drone. There were so many people that loved it, they were waiting for it, they thought it was so awesome. And then there was this group of people, a large group of people that hated it. They didn't like how much it cost, they didn't like that it was missing a lot of the features. And it's still a pretty polarizing drone today, but it's definitely much better since we've had the firmware updates that complete it into the drone that it should have been when it was released. Now, when I sat down and I thought about what is the one thing that I really hate about this drone and what is the one thing that I really liked about it, it wasn't too hard for me to kind of narrow it down to the one thing that I don't like about it, other than the GPS taking so long to get connectivity. You know, that I can get by with. But the one thing that I really don't like about this drone is how far this gimbal sticks out of it. Like, it sticks out ahead of the housing. Like, it's the most forward part of the drone. And that means anytime this drone hits the ground unintended, like if you crash your drone, it's gonna probably break that gimbal. And that's exactly what happened. I crashed it because I was testing the obstacle avoidance, probably a little bit too hard. Came crashing to the ground and it broke the gimbal. So I think anytime this drone happens to crash, it's going to break that gimbal. So that is the thing that I don't like the most about it. Now, when it came to trying to decide the one thing that I like the most about the Mavic 3, that was much more difficult because there's so many good things about it. The image quality, the flight time, the connectivity, like it's just an awesome drone. But I would have to say the number one thing that I like about the Mavic 3 is how stable it is. This thing, even though it's not a professional drone, it's a prosumer drone, it flies like a professional drone. It is so steady. It can handle any wind conditions. I fly this in 25-mile-per-hour winds and it doesn't even blink an eye. It flies so good. And just how responsive it is to the controls. I mean, it's so fun to fly this thing. And I like that because it's you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about jerky footage, and you don't have to worry about maybe crashing into something unintentionally just because it's so rock steady. So that is my number one thing that I love about the Mavic 3. Thanks again for having me on. Have a good one.
Hey everyone, this is Mike from Drone Supremacy, and if there's one thing I absolutely love about the Mavic 3, it has to be the D-Log color profile. This color profile gives you so much flexibility to edit your footage in post the way you want it to look, and for me that's extremely important. If you want to make it stand out from the rest, you want to make it your own and put your little creative twist on it. That's the best way to do it. Especially now that DJI has finally added this new color assist feature, which allows you to actually see what you're doing on your screen, it's even better. However, no product is truly perfect, and of course the Mavic 3 is no exception. The number one thing which makes me furious when I power on this drone is how slow it picks the GPS satellites. It's extremely slow. It's made me miss a couple of really epic shots because of how slow it picks up those satellites, and for that you need to wait a couple of minutes until it finally gets you the green light so you can take off. Hopefully DJI can do something about it because I'm tired of missing some really incredible shots just because I don't have enough satellites locked in. But that's it from me. Thank you so much, Drone Faith, for having me. I'll see you soon.
The one thing that I really don't like about this drone is this camera up here, the little telephoto camera. I feel like it's gimmicky, and I really don't mind gimmicks as long as it's software. But the problem that I have with this camera is that it's mostly a hardware gimmick, and hardware costs money. It's pieces of material that goes in here. As a matter of fact, the sensor that's up here is equivalent to the Air 2, which is a very good drone. So there's a very good sensor in here, but it doesn't serve a very good purpose. And I felt like if DJI left that sensor out, left that telephoto lens out of this camera, the camera would have been lighter, the drone would have been lighter, and most importantly, it would have been cheaper. So big thumbs down for this Explore mode. I felt like we could have gotten Explore mode just from a digital zoom off the main camera. Now let's talk about what I really like about this drone. If you're one that's into hyperlapses like me, I love some hyperlapses in my life. Having a long battery life is just key. It's undescribable how important having long battery life is, because hyperlapses take long to film. And the more battery you have, the better your hyperlapse will come out and the longer your hyperlapse will come out. So yeah, battery life is a huge big plus, and this camera is insane at night, the main 4/3 camera, and that is just perfect for hyperlapses at night. So pair this beautiful night camera along with this long battery life, and you have yourself something on the Mavic 3 that you really cannot get with any other drone, at least the Waypoint hyperlapses, unlike anything I have ever seen. So that's it. Thanks guys for allowing me to share. Thank you Farhan for giving me this moment, and I will catch you guys whenever I can.
A big shout out and thank you to Xavier from Drone X Factor, Russ from 51 Drones, and Mike from Drone Supremacy for taking out the time to make this video. Appreciate it. I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, already know who these three guys are, but if you don't, make sure to check out their links in the description and watch their videos. I've learned so much from them, and I'm sure you will as well. Thank you guys for watching this video. Do hit the like button if you found this helpful, and also subscribe for more weekly videos. I'll see you guys soon.